At the beginning of the 2025 Formula One season, few would have predicted the remarkable turnaround that Ferrari has achieved in recent races. What started as a campaign full of skepticism and caution slowly evolved into a revival of the legendary Scuderia's competitiveness at the very top. From underwhelming early performances to now being a consistent threat for pole positions and race wins, the key to this transformation lies in a series of well-calibrated technical upgrades and a renewed sense of direction from within the team. Ferrari's resurgence is no accident. It is the product of months of meticulous development, intelligent strategy, and an organizational shift that finally brought clarity and cohesion. After the 2024 season left them in a somewhat stagnant state, always close to the front but never quite leading it, many wondered whether the Scuderia was destined to remain in the shadow of Red Bull and Mercedes. However, the narrative began to change subtly in the opening flyaway races, where the SF25 showed glimpses of potential. The real shift, however, only came after Imola, when Ferrari introduced the first of several major upgrades that would dramatically alter the performance profile of the car. The most impactful of these updates involved aerodynamic refinements. Ferrari focused on enhancing the efficiency of the floor and diffuser, which had previously been a limiting factor in their ability to generate consistent downforce across different speed ranges. By reshaping the floor edges and introducing a revised rear wing configuration, the SF25 became much more stable in high-speed corners, traditionally a weak spot for the team. This allowed the drivers, particularly Charles Leclerc, to push the limits with greater confidence. In addition to aerodynamic improvements, Ferrari made key changes to their suspension geometry. They adopted a more aggressive setup that improved tire management and gave better mechanical grip, especially in low-speed corners where the car had previously struggled to rotate effectively. This transformed their performance in circuits like Monaco and Canada, where traction out of slow corners is critical. For the first time in years, Ferrari looked as composed as the best teams in these challenging environments. Another underappreciated aspect of Ferrari's evolution has been their newfound efficiency in race strategy and pit stop execution. Under the leadership of Fred Vasseur, the team has become more decisive and less prone to reactive calls that historically cost them precious positions. This strategic maturity was most evident in Barcelona and Spielberg, where Ferrari not only had the pace but also executed race plans flawlessly, outmaneuvering their rivals on tire strategy and undercut windows. In those races, every decision, from tire choice to pit stop timing, reflected a level of precision that Ferrari fans had long been waiting to see. But the technical upgrades alone wouldn't have yielded such consistent results without the human element. The drivers have played a crucial role in translating these upgrades into on-track success. Charles Leclerc, in particular, has found a new rhythm in 2025. More comfortable with the car's handling and more confident in the team's decision-making, he has been able to extract the maximum from every session. His pole position in Austria, for example, wasn't just a reflection of raw pace. It was the result of a car that allowed him to drive on the limit with precision. Carlos Sainz has also contributed meaningfully to the team's progress. While his future remains uncertain amid a crowded driver market, his consistency and technical feedback have been invaluable in helping the engineers fine-tune the upgrades. Together, the two drivers form a balanced pairing that brings both speed and strategic acumen, a necessity in the modern era of F1 where margins are razor-thin. Another element contributing to Ferrari's success is the improved reliability of the SF25. After struggling with engine-related DNFs in past seasons, Ferrari has finally built a power unit that is both powerful and dependable. The upgraded ERS package introduced in Montreal has offered more aggressive deployment without compromising durability. This has allowed the drivers to defend and attack with greater energy efficiency, especially in circuits where overtaking is difficult and battery management is critical. In terms of team dynamics, the atmosphere within the Scuderia is notably more focused and less chaotic than in previous years. Fred Vasseur's calm leadership has brought stability to Maranello, enabling the engineering departments to work without the constant pressure of public scrutiny or internal politics. This harmony has created a feedback loop. Better internal communication leads to better upgrades, which leads to better results, which in turn fuels morale and motivation. Beyond the factory walls, Ferrari has also embraced modern simulation tools and data analytics at a deeper level. Their correlation between wind tunnel data and real-world track performance has improved significantly, allowing them to bring updates that work as expected, a long-standing challenge for many teams. Their ability to bring track-specific setups and upgrades tailored to circuit characteristics has given them an edge in a tightly packed midfield, and in several cases, allowed them to punch above their theoretical weight. The psychological momentum cannot be underestimated either. In a sport where confidence is everything, Ferrari now carries itself like a front-running team. That aura of competitiveness changes how rivals react to them on track. No longer are they seen as an easy target or a team likely to falter under pressure. Instead, they are feared again, respected for their tactical sharpness and growing technical excellence. It's also important to consider how Ferrari has adapted to the evolving development war. In past seasons, they often started strong only to fade as others outdeveloped them. This year, however, the development pace has been relentless. Their B-Spec package, introduced just before the British Grand Prix, was a statement of intent. New sidepod concepts, a redesigned cooling layout, and a lighter chassis variant signaled that Ferrari isn't just reacting to rivals, they're proactively setting the pace. While Red Bull still remains a formidable opponent, their dominance is no longer absolute. Ferrari has consistently challenged them in qualifying and shown comparable race pace, especially on tracks that suit the SF25's new characteristics. Mercedes and McLaren are also improving, but Ferrari's current trajectory places them firmly at the heart of the title conversation. There is still a long season ahead, and nothing in Formula One is ever guaranteed. However, the foundations that Ferrari has laid with their recent updates suggest that this isn't a temporary surge, it's the beginning of a sustained challenge. If they continue to evolve at this rate, staying ahead in the development race and avoiding the pitfalls of inconsistency, they could very well be in contention not just for race wins but for championships once again. What makes this transformation so compelling is the way it symbolizes a broader resurgence. Ferrari, the most storied team in Formula One history, had seemed trapped in a cycle of near successes and unfulfilled potential. Now, with technical upgrades that are finally delivering, a driver lineup operating at peak form, and a team culture that values cohesion over chaos, they are writing a new chapter. A chapter not defined by nostalgia or history, but by progress, performance, and precision. Fans around the world can feel the shift. The iconic red cars are not just participating, they're leading. They're setting the tone in practice sessions, battling at the front during races, and forcing their rivals to respond. Whether it's in the high-speed corners of Silverstone, the tight streets of Singapore, or the sweeping curves of Suzuka, the SF25 is proving that Ferrari is back in the fight, not just as a competitor, but as a contender. The road to full redemption in Formula One is never short, and setbacks are inevitable. But Ferrari has shown that with the right upgrades, the right people, and the right mindset, a turnaround is not only possible, it's inevitable. What remains to be seen is whether they can sustain this momentum and translate this impressive mid-season form into a full championship assault. For now, the paddock is watching, the fans are cheering, and the opposition is nervous. Ferrari has evolved, and the 2025 season may well be remembered as the year the Scuderia finally roared back to the top.